Hello everyone and welcome back, or welcome to another video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Paloma, my artist name is Paloma the Peach, and I make art and post it on the internet and everything that involves the making of that art. And for today, we're going to be doing a little bit of like a color study with alcohol markers. Alcohol markers are a medium that I have been playing around with for years, but I have over the last year or so really fallen in love with. So for today, I'm going to show you guys how I have been doing some color studies with them because I'm still learning how to like get all the layering right, knowing what colors to pick and all that. So today I'm going to explain that to you guys through drawing some fishies, which is my favorite subject matter to draw. So let's get into it. So before we get into the drawing, I'm going to go over my supplies. This is the sketchbook that I'm currently working in. It is a Talon's Art Creations sketchbook, and the pages tend to take wet media like this pretty well. I have no problems with blending and layering these markers, but they do bleed through a lot, so fair warning if that bothers you. And these are the marker sets that I have. They're all Ohuhu brand, and this is essentially like the complete set collection of Ohuhu markers. I just didn't buy the big 320 set all in one go. As far as sketching goes, I like to use actually colored lead. So I have these mechanical pencils that I have colored lead in, and I like to use this like orangey yellow first, and then I'll go over top with the pink just to kind of like redefine. But I prefer these because they don't get muddy or like smudge underneath the marker that you put on top, because if you use regular like graphite, your sketches can tend to get pretty muddy, they can smudge, things can get really grayish. So I prefer these just because they won't do that underneath your medium. If your sketch underneath does end up showing through the marker that you put on top, it's okay because there's still like these really cute colors of orangey yellow or pink or red, or they even have like blue too. It's okay if it peeks through because it'll still look nice and it'll sort of be a little bit more cohesive to your marker on top. Now, as far as color picking, these color swatch keys are very important, and they will normally come with any marker set that you buy, just so you can have little swatches of every color in your set, and that way you don't have to keep testing it on your paper. And it also makes choosing colors much easier, much less overwhelming. The set that I have has one side that's a chisel nib and the other side that is a brush nib, and I personally use both, but for these color studies, I like to use the chisel nib just to get in more of like these solid color shapes. As a little bit of an explanation as to what order to color alcohol marker sketches in, you always want to start with your lightest color first, because with alcohol markers you cannot go over dark with light. So you always want to start with your lightest colors and then slowly start building up to deeper and darker values. What I mean by color shapes, I'm going to break down for you guys exactly how I look at things whenever I'm color studying. I try to not see what I'm drawing in this example as a fish. I try to see it as more of like shapes broken up into smaller shapes, if that makes sense. So basically here I am seeing, where this saturation of green is, and I'm just putting that down wherever I see it into shapes. And the chisel nib, like I said, helps a lot. It helps you not get too precious or worry too much about blending. And when it comes to color studying, you just really want to be paying attention to the colors that you are actually seeing and not colors that you think should be there. Now, I like to take a little bit of like creative liberties and switch up the colors slightly just to match my personal preferences a little bit. You always want to look at, like I said, what you are actually seeing. So when it comes to fish and their flesh and their scales, there's actually a lot of gray and a lot of like light meeting the color of their scales, which then can reflect bluish, grayish, maybe brownish, depending on the area. So I actually use this yellow-gray shade a lot over many parts of basically all of the fish that I will draw, just because, like I said, the mixture of like fish flesh and light and scales and reflection can kind of translate that way. Alcohol markers are definitely a medium where you have to trust the process. I know that's so annoying and can sometimes be some of the worst parts of art in general, but you really have to trust the process when it comes to alcohol markers. I know it's super tempting to give up in the middle of a sketch or something, but just see it through, see how things are building up, see where you can fix things. And something that really helps me, if I'm like, wow, this is looking really ugly, I'll just go ahead and outline it with my background color, and that'll kind of help everything pop out a little bit more and also look a little bit cleaner. And then that gives me a clearer vision as to what I want this sketch to look like. So at this point, I've kind of laid down all of my lighter colors, and now I'm going in and creating some contrast with darker colors. This part, at least for me, can be pretty scary because once you put this down, there's no going back. But as long as you're carefully putting stuff down, really thinking about where contrast and where depth can be found in your subject matter, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, trust me. I'm a huge fan of these neon colors for alcohol markers. I feel like they add a really big pop and really nice saturation in certain areas. So I'm just continuing to layer, continuing to build, and looking for any characteristics that will sort of make this fish stand out. And you can also notice that there's probably a few things that I've purposefully left out, honestly, and it's normally stuff that I feel like is not pertinent to the subject matter reading as what it is, and you'll see me do that with the next fish as well. And you don't have to copy stuff from life exactly how it looks. The only instance where I would say that that would be like more important is maybe portraiture or like capturing humans, but capturing humans in and of itself is like a whole other thing. But you don't have to copy things down exactly. That's definitely not the determiner of what quote unquote good art looks like. This is just sketching. This is just a study observing how colors interact with light, how in this case fish look in different settings, in different lighting. Yeah, just have fun with it, and I'm gonna let you guys watch exactly how I lay down my colors on this goldfish, because goldfish I think are my favorite to color. They're just so orangey and plump and have so many cool shapes going on within them. I wanted to quickly talk about our sponsor for today's video, which is Squarespace. If you don't know what Squarespace is, it's an all-in-one platform where you can create your very own website, and it is the platform that I have always used to run my website, my online art business, and my portfolio. They have always made running these three things very, very easily. Their new Fluid engine essentially means that you can customize your website to look any sort of specific way. They also do have website templates. You know, if you really need to get your website up and running, you can easily use one of those for your website. And of course, their commerce tool really helps me with my online art business. They keep track of orders, inventory, customer data, all that not so fun stuff. So if you are interested in Squarespace, you can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and you can use my code for 10% off your first purchase.